Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Peter Barber here, professional singer and music producer, and I just did a full reaction and breakdown of a couple of these behind the scenes songs. I did one for Love in a Bottle, just did that second, and before that I did one for Gravity. So really cool to take a look, see what these singers are doing with their mouths and their faces and their bodies to really get into these characters. Really enjoyed watching, reacting, and breaking it down for you guys. So I hope you enjoy, hope you'll learn something, and I'll see you after.
Does no one know who they're dealing with? Think I'll let it go, forget and forgive. The rage in me is terminal. There's no remedy but to burn them all. I still gotta...
Jessica's such a baller singer, and I remember when I first heard Gravity, give. I couldn't believe that she sang down to that. I'm singing an octave lower because of bass. This one, give. I couldn't believe it sounded like it had been modulated a little bit in the studio recording, but then I saw her do it in the Broadway thing. Like, nailed it. Very solid low D there. It's just extremely low for a female vocalist to have, like, reliably, especially in a performance setting.
Does no one know who they're dealing with? Think I'll let it go, forget and forgive. The rage in me is terminal. There's no remedy but to burn them all. I still got a job to do, my mission's incomplete. Only a traitor could consider making peace. The princess has to pay for what she did that day, for what she took away.
This is still favorite song in HAZBIN Hotel. This one's way up there. Gravity is way up there. I think right now probably Gravity and Loser Baby. Gun to my head, probably Loser Baby, but this is such a peak song. Great choice for them to start the music releases for season 2 with this one.
Princess has to pay for what she did that day, for what she took away. Storms coming, I can see the clouds. No running's gonna save you now, and heart rate is gonna fall down like gravity, like gravity.
Something I'm so cool to watch her do it live is she's like literally gritting her teeth while she's singing, and that really does change the vocal color that comes out. You know, if she were singing this with a smile, it would be a totally different sound color, and humans are so in tune with vocal color and voice because it's what we use to communicate. It's with us all the time. We think about it all the time. We use it all the time. And so you can tell the difference, even in an animated show, with how the singer was portraying that character. And so for Jessica singing, hello, short-circuiting, lute, singing lute, with this disdain and this anger and this vengefulness, singing it with gritted teeth really adds a certain color to the voice that really comes through even when we can't actually see her singing. And now we can, and it's very cool.
For what she took away. Storms coming, I can...
Storms coming. Instead of storms coming, storms coming. Really solid.
For what she took away. Storms coming, I can see the clouds. No running's gonna save you now.
Didn't realize they were actually in octave harmonies. Storms, so Alex Bradman singing, storms are running, I can see the clouds. Down to the same D that Jessica sang a minute ago, which for Brightman is like low. I mean, he's very much a tenor vocalist, but I didn't realize they were in octave harmonies, at least at the start here.
I can see the clouds. No running's gonna save you now, and heart rate is gonna fall down like gravity, like gravity.
Those high Fs from Jessica are insane. And it was even cooler to hear them in the Broadway version. I'll leave that. Is this the right side, Mason? I feel like I point over here and then it's wrong. Okay, keeping a note for next time. So sick. So she's holding her headphones here. She's got one slightly off. That's so she can get just a little bit more room noise in there. Sometimes you can feel too boxed in when you're recording in the studio. It's a very foreign kind of thing to do. And so some people will record one ear off, some people a little bit off. Some people really want to get boxed in, especially if it's like a really soft, intimate thing. But when you're singing big, typically you want to have a little room interaction. Also in the Broadway performance, a lot of them were just using one in-ear mic because you can feel too boxed in with two in-ear mics. It all depends on the singer and what works and what's most comfortable for them.
Like gravity.
Right here.
You think you're hell's great savior? Will you still when I return the favor? Take the one you need, make you watch him bleed. Will you break thinking how you couldn't save her? Wishing you were there when
You have to get in there with it. Like, and she's making all the facial expressions to convey the emotion. Probably in some cases doing similar things, without being able to move around a room. But similar to what Lute is, like trying to really embody that character. It makes such a difference with how the voice comes through when you really lean into, I cannot tell you how overboard these voice actors have to go to convey the I don't even know how to, the hyperbolic hype that you get from the animated characters in a show with the facial expressions. The animated characters do a million things that people physically can't do with their faces, with their bodies, with their intensity. And so to be an animated character, you have to be super intense with everything you're doing vocally. To where if it weren't an animated character, if you were watching the person just act out that way, you'd be like, this is psychotic behavior. It feels way too over the top. But because the animation gives us a little separation from reality, we can digest it. And so when you're doing these characters, you have to really go overboard. A little bit less so in the singing. The singing is more about vocal color and getting the emotion right. Unless you're doing like a Hell's Greatest Dad, in which case you have to go way overboard with the vocals, right? But often too, just in the voice acting itself, you have to go way overboard. You've got to over-deliver, basically.
still when I return the favor. Take the one you need, make you watch him bleed. Will you break thinking how you couldn't save her? Wishing you were there when they needed you. The only soul who's ever completed you. Maybe then you'll get a little heated too and understand why this is what I need to do. Storm.
Need to do. So she opens, so to do, right? Closed oo on both of those. But to sing that to, well, terrible word to have to sing up high. To, it's got the it's got the unvoiced consonant in the beginning, and then oo for vowel. Ugh, barf. You do not want that note up high. But Jessica sings to do on that high D. To do. She keeps those open to allow her voice to sing more. To do instead of to do. To do. Super, super helpful.
And a little heated too, and understand why this is what I need to do. Storms coming, I can see the clouds. No running's gonna save you now, and heartbreak is.
See, that high F for Alex is nothing. Like, that's absolute cake for his voice type.
No running's gonna save you now, and heartbreak is gonna fall down like gravity. Like gravity.
Like gravity. I love it. So you got to do that characterization, especially for Adam.
It's gonna fall down like gravity. Like gravity. Eye for an eye says you owe me a debt.
There's a harmony. Let's coming. That's a distorted high A from Brightman. It's like he's not even stretching to get up there. That's really remarkable. Let's coming. Right. AGFD. So good. And just full rock belt on there. Insane. Okay, great. We're going to pop over and we're going to do the little behind the scenes for Love in a Bottle as well.
Now this is where I'm meant.
Oh, I love Keith David.
You know, it's been such a long time since I've been out on my own.
So something I didn't mention in the first video is we're hearing the final studio version of the song with them tracking in the booth. So we're hearing an edited version while we're watching them track it live. So we're not hearing the live raw vocals in the booth. I just want to point that out there. Should have said that in the last video.
Now this is where I'm meant to be. You know, it's been such a long time since I've been out on my own. Bittersweet to be so free and so alone.
See how he goes, free, and you can hear the smile in the way he says free, and he's actually doing that in the performance in the booth.
To be so free and so alone.
I just love how soft Keith David approaches this vocal. You know, it's been such a long time since I've been out. It's just very light and easy. And then he brings a lot more voice into the later sections. But this is just like perfect writing for his voice type, I think. Sam and Andrew really did a nice job putting especially this first section in a place that highlights this. It's amazing. He has this profound speaking voice for his voice acting, but then he goes into his singing mode and he's much more of like a lyrical baritone, to the point where even sometimes the low notes aren't super strong, which we actually hear later in this song. This beautiful, it's the same kind of voice we heard in the first part of Loser Baby. It's fantastic.
You know, it's been such a long time since I've been out on my own. Bittersweet to be so free and so alone. It kind of feels like the wrong time.
Wrong time. That's a cool note I didn't notice the first time I heard it. So it goes to, I think, the A flat. 1 second.
It kind of feels like the wrong time.
Yeah, it goes to the flat 6. Really nice. Just a tiny little cool crunchy detail.
So alone. It kind of feels like the wrong time to feel sorry for myself.
He kind of holds it back and then leans into it a little bit on that held note.
To feel sorry for myself makes you want to drink till you feel like you are someone else.
So what's amazing about what's great about these voice actors, and you learn how to do this the more you record, is like Keith David doesn't have this song memorized. If he did, he'd very likely not be looking at the music. Now he knows it really well. He knows what he needs to sing, but he's got the lyrics there. And if you notice, Alex Brightman was also often looking down to check lyrics. Jessica was not, I don't think. I think Jessica had that song locked in, fully memorized. But it just shows like even when it's not totally in their bones yet, these actors and these singers can still fully embody the character. And that's just an experience thing.
Drink till you feel like you are someone else. Then another, and another, and another, and another, and another.
So they're probably not showing Keith in the booth right now because he's doing a live take here, but it might not have been the take. which they used in the studio version, the final version. And also it was a bunch of takes, right? You do a bunch of takes of these songs. You do what's called vocal comping, where even in over the span of a line, you might take part of that line and another part of a line. Now, you're not going to do this like word by word because it's going to sound natural, but you might split a long phrase up into 2 phrases, and the audio engineers can connect those if sung a certain way. That's a rabbit hole I'm not going to go down into. But it's likely, now I know they are going back and forth, but you know, if this version Keith did doesn't line up at all with the actual laughing, which is a very different thing to line up than, you know, singing where it's very planned. You know, they probably pan over to the animation. And even in this studio session, it looks like his laughing as he gets into and another is not quite as intense as the take they probably ended up using for the final.
Like you are someone else, then another, and another, and another, and another, and another.
Right, so it looks like he stays a little bit more contained in this take than whatever take he ended up using. They used for the studio version.
Then another, and another, and another, and another, and another.
The Huskettes, right? This is his casino. Someone was telling me that.
Get the top shelf double rocks for the scotch. I missed the tune of first clinking.
Oh, interesting. I didn't even know there's a low E supposed to be in there. Tumblers clinking. It's low. I talk a lot about. Go check out my full analysis for Love in a Bottle. Yeah, I have tons of comments on Keith's low range and all the things I find interesting about it.
Top shelf double rocks for the scotch. I missed the
pour the scotch. Pour the scotch. Pour the scotch.
tune of first clink.
So there's supposed to be a low E on tumblers clinking based on the melody, but I think Keith just kind of drops it.
Get the top shelf double rocks for the scotch. I missed the tune of first clinking.
Right.
Gillian kicked the sin up a notch. Diving in quicksand past the then sinking. I'm leaving behind all of the cares that I've been overthinking.
I'm leaving behind. This is a beautiful long legato line and allows Keith to lean a little bit more into a sort of like Frank Sinatra style, where it's legato, it's smooth, it's leaning more into the warmthness of his baritone voice. I'm leaving behind, right? It's great stuff.
I'm leaving behind all of the cares that I've been overthinking. Find friends in my wine, stay unawares just as long as I'm drinking. Love in a bottle, love in a bottle. Don't need love when it comes in a bottle. Start when you're bluffing, double or nothing. Lap it up, la 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 la. Love is in the ice of the beholder.
Love is in the ice. I don't think I caught that line when I first heard it. Love's in the ice of the beholder. Very, very clever. La 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 la. Yeah, people were giving me backstory into Husk owning this casino, and the singers are called the Huskettes, and then all this and that stuff deep in the lore.
La 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 love is in the ice of the beholder. Jim never lies or fucks you over. It goes down the same every time.
Every time. So that's one of the E's where, and again, I comment a lot about this in my other analysis video. But look, he's reading the lyrics like pretty much the whole time, but he's still giving all the characterization that we need. Full send on characterization, even when looking at the lyrics.
Is in the ice of the beholder. Jim never lies or fucks you over. It goes down the same every time. Need someone to hand your chips. Go all in and abandon ship. You're jumping for the water and it's all 100 proof.
Key change.
Love in a bottle, love in a bottle. Don't need love when it comes in a bottle. Strut when you're bluffing.
Strut when you're bluffing. I didn't realize he did a voice acting moment there. I wasn't sure what these videos were going to be. I was actually kind of hoping we get a little more like behind the scenes look, like them talking about what it was like to record the song, because I'm a huge nerd for that kind of thing. But this is also very cool. It's very cool to see them in the booth doing their thing.
In a bottle, don't need love when it comes in a bottle. Strut when you're bluffing. Love it up, love it up, la 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 la. Love in in a bottle, love in a bottle. Can't have love when it comes in a bottle. Home in a bottle, numb in a bottle. I don't need nothing that's not from a bottle. Another round.
It's great to see him wobbling around in the vocal booth. I love this final section. He characterizes what can happen if you get too drunk, which I've never been, of course, never in my life. How you can get really reckless with your voice and you losing control of it and just not caring how you use it. And he does a really great job embodying that kind of sound and that chaos and that release in this characterization here.
Love in a bottle, love in a bottle. Can't have love when it comes in a bottle. Home in a bottle, numb in a bottle. I don't need nothing that's not from a bottle.
But what's great is it's not overdone. It's not at all overdone. It's like it's really in that pocket of like this guy's gotten way too drunk, but it's not like a caricature. Like that people get this drunk. You know, people get this drunk and yell like this, and it's great. And I love how it goes on subtly more and more until that final phrase.
Home in a bottle, numb in
Bigger,
a bottle.
bigger, bigger,
Not from a bottle.
and the finale.
Another round.
Bravo, Keith David. We love him. Okay, sweet. Well, guys, let me know if you enjoy this. Maybe I can do some more of these. I hope you do. Hope you learned something. Tried to talk a little bit about like mouth shapes and interesting things that we don't see in the animated versions. How much character you have to put into especially animated characters because they are animated. They are super, super animated compared to normal people. So you have to put that in the voices. Anyway, yeah, let me know what you guys want to see next, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.